What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Mount Jozmore. I'm your host, Joz. This is my show where I put things on a mountain and say these are my top 4 of this topic, and I list some honorable mention things that are worthwhile. Had a good time with last episode with the conspiracy theories. The comments on my TikTok were insane. You want to check them out. Jaws of Life 25 on TikTok. It was fun. It was wild. I made a bunch of reply videos to some of the comments. It's just a Flat Earth is a wild place to be in any form of social media. The only bad part about it is all of a sudden my algorithm now has a bunch of Flat Earth group suggestions on Facebook and stuff. Not a fan of that, but it is what it is. I'll get through it. And yeah, so we're back. We're another episode here, and this one is kind of something that's hitting home right now for me. First and foremost, apologize. I don't always love doing this in a sleeveless shirt, but whatever. And my shirt does say, "Show me your TDs." It's a shirt that was worn by a flag football team that I played on. Was not the greatest flag football team name. Funny, punny, but it was men's flag football, so I'm not really sure what we were getting at there. Regardless, it's a fun shirt to wear now that it's probably 5 years after I played on that team, if not longer at this point. But yeah, so that's the story behind the outfit today. I think I commented on wearing a sleeveless hoodie last time that was covered in paint. It's really hot in my office where I do this, so you may be seeing, sleeveless and tattooed more often until the weather starts to cool off. It is really, really hot here in Western New York. My computer right over yonder is saying record high today. We're probably in the 90s somewhere. Been one of the hottest, driest summers I can remember for a long time, and after it rained and snowed for like 90 days straight through winter and then into spring, kind of welcome, but somebody turn the heat down just a little bit. Like, I'm that guy, like 70s, 75, 80 during the day, 65 to 55 at night, so I can sleep real comfy. That's kind of where I live. I'm going to get a lot of flack for that, but I digress. We're going to get into Mount Jozmore this week. This week's topic, something that's I'm actually right in the middle of one of these things, and we'll get to that when I get to it. Here's the rules. Basically, I pick a topic. I tell you what my top 4 are after listing off some things that almost made the top 4, but did not. The top 4 are in no particular order. It is not a ranking system by any means. However, I do kind of try to share the more controversial ones, or the ones that'll get you talking a little bit more near the end, so you stick out the whole episode. My only requests here on this are, like, follow, share, subscribe, tell people about it if you enjoy the show, comment on it, but do me a favor. First off, it's my opinion, and it's my opinion, so my opinion can't be wrong. I may be factually inaccurate on some things that I say because I don't overly research things, because I just don't have time. I kind of have a base knowledge of the things I'm talking about, so if I'm off base a little bit, forgive me. I apologize. However, the only thing that I ask of you guys, I want you engaging in the comments. I want you talking about it and going into it. The one thing that I do request is just keep it civil in the comments. Nobody likes an online troll. Nobody likes that guy being a keyboard warrior. That's foreshadowing, and you'll see why in a minute. But, nobody likes that guy. Don't be that guy or that girl. So, this week's topic, stupid things people do on social media still in 2025. And starting with being a keyboard warrior. Listen, I have done this, and I've done probably a lot of these. I think a lot of us probably have over the years, especially I grew up in the era where social media first started. And Facebook, you needed a .edu email address to have a Facebook account. You couldn't just be, at Gmail, at Yahoo, at Comcast, or whatever. You actually needed a .edu email to be on Facebook. I kind of miss those days. I would no longer be on Facebook because I would no longer have the .edu, but I also understand why they wanted to expand and move. I don't like a lot of things that Facebook has become. I don't like that I have to go to a different tab to see what my friends are posting, and my feed is just targeted crap. That's beside the point. But I grew up in that area. MySpace was one of the OGs when you and the drama that started from picking your top 8. And I've talked about that a few times on a couple different podcasts. But being a keyboard warrior, being that guy or girl who says things to people that you would never say to them in person, for a lot of different reasons. One, probably you don't have the Hamaltza the testicular fortitude, the intestinal fortitude, depending upon the PG-ness of the way you speak, to say something like that to someone's face, because you can hide behind, especially burner accounts in this day and age, a nameless, faceless account that can just post whatever you want, or anonymous posting, especially if you're in a group that has like moderators that don't care. And pro tip, the moderators and the admin of the group can still see who you are when you post, but the group members cannot. So you can still get blown in, but it is what it is. There are plenty of people who say things online and on social media that they would never say to somebody's face. And at one point it started because you would probably get punched in the mouth if you said that to someone in person. Now in this day and age where you don't really have to get worried about being punched in the mouth, which I do believe we should bring back from time to time. I don't believe you should be able to just say whatever you want in a disrespectful manner to whoever you want without any type of consequence. But that's neither here nor there. That's probably an episode for another time. But being a keyboard warrior is one of the dumbest things ever. Like, if you need to feel like a hard ass by mouthing off on the internet, you should probably talk to somebody. Like, there's professionals who can help you. And again, I've done it. So generally speaking, I'm also that guy that would probably say most of the things I say to someone's face. I have always kind of been that guy who, for better or for worse, 10 toes stand on business, will own what I say, because why wouldn't I? Even if it's not something great, and it's bit me in the ass in the past. So it's kind of made me kind of think twice about some of the things I do say. But generally speaking, if I'll say it to somebody, I'll say it to you in person if I need to. One of my favorite ones, I despise this, is like posting half stories. And this one kind of ties into some of the other ones that I'm going to come up here on my honorable mention. So let's go with this ties into attention seeking posts. Somebody posts something about personal drama, and they post something about some type of personal drama or something going on in their life. And you only get part of the story. You only get man, for those that know what happened, I can't wait to run into so-and-so. It's on site. Well, I don't know what happened, man, but now I want to know. Now I'm trolling your comments. I'm commenting on my own to be hey man, what happened? Or hey sis, what's going on? So those half stories, and that ties into attention seeking, posting things solely for attention, solely to get people to reach out or to, get likes and comments and stuff like that and make you feel important. And that is one of the dangerous sides of social media. We get caught up in the likes and the comments and, the amount of people who lay their eyes on things. And I use social media a lot. I use social media for not even so much for this. I post this on TikTok and some of it on Instagram. But I mean, some of it barely gets seen. I do it because I enjoy it. I do it for fun. So, but you get these people that they do this because it somehow brings them value. It brings, it makes them feel important. It makes them feel good. And that's problematic, right? That's not something, if that's something that you do, if you post something because you want the likes and the attention from probably strangers on the internet. And there are people my age who do this, and we kind of grew up in an era where stranger danger was a thing. Don't talk to strangers. Don't get in the weird van with the dude giving you candy. Don't base your self-worth on strangers on the internet telling you that you're awesome or you're attractive or you're cute or you're funny or any of those things. It can be a really dangerous road to go down. And we see that a lot of times, with famous people who end up dealing with so much crap online from random people that they need to take a step back and take a break. Kind of on the same realm of that, for thirst trapping. If you don't know what a thirst trap is, go to TikTok, type in thirst trap. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about within 2 seconds. It's literally you're trying to garner attention from the thirsty folk. A good looking girl in tight or skimpy clothing posting something is probably the easiest way to describe a thirst trap. And that's just trying to get the attention of people who are they themselves starved for attention. You throw them a like, you throw them a comment back, and all of a sudden they're blowing up all your social media and all this other good fun stuff. It gets your engagement up, and, there are people who have made a lot of money doing that. There's an entire industry and website based on basically doing that and then making people pay for more of you wearing less, if you get my drift. The other one on that is clickbaiting. I hate clickbait. I rage about clickbait. And so I'm a Bills fan, right? I'm born and bred in Buffalo. Diehard Bills fan. Used to have season tickets. Used to go to all the games. Watch every game. Will take days off of work to go to a game if I can or if I have to. I was that guy. I watch mostly from the comfort of my house. It's a lot warmer, drier, beer's cheaper. Still a big fan. Huge fan. Love talking about the sports. Love talking about the Bills. But there are people who try to garner popularity in the content creation world. So, little story about myself. I used to be the host and producer of a Buffalo-centric pro sports talk show. Right, so we talked mostly the Bills, some Sabres. We talked the Bandits, a little bit of the Bisons, Buffalo sports as a whole, but then pro sports in general. But it was mostly focused around the two big sports here in Buffalo being football and hockey with the Sabres and the Bills. And we would make ourselves we pride ourselves on the fact that we put things out, and it wasn't just for clicks. We weren't shock jocks. We weren't guys just saying things or doing things for clout and to get people to click on it. We wanted to put out good content. And the entire thing was, I'm a coach. All four of my co-hosts have coached to some level, some degree, multiple different sports: football, hockey, baseball, lacrosse. We covered a lot of it. So we like to talk from a point of knowledge, a point of understanding. We also found that we generally would watch football differently than most people. Most people are watching the ball, we'll be commenting oh my God, this player just destroyed so-and-so on the offensive line. And a normal person didn't see it, but me having been an offensive lineman who did play a little bit in college, you look at that stuff, you watch that stuff because that's where I was. That's where I made my living. You get it. But we love that stuff. So we tried to talk from a point of knowledge on that. And then you see people just sharing fake crap. And I still see it to this day. And I'm no longer in that realm. I have a dormant show called Jaws Talk Sports. Probably don't know if it's going to come back or not. We'll see what my life and time frame looks like with the upcoming NFL season. I may just do something around the Bills and the NFL. And then when the season's over, it's over. But we'll see. But to this day, there are people who they'll either post old things, they'll post a picture of somebody currently on the Bills and be former Super Bowl champion and NFL MVP tied to trade talks, and it's someone who doesn't play for us anymore. But you got people to go to your website, so you got to click and you got the monetary value. And it's how people try to monetize websites and stuff like that is by driving traffic. People get people they literally make up fake quotes, fake stories, and it's literally just to get you to click on them, get people to share them, and things get shared as if it's truth, and it drives me nuts. I have a friend that I used to work with who now works in the car industry. He'll share something and I will literally comment on every single one and be dude, stop sharing this. It's not true. Hooked on Bills Mafia sports fan page is probably not breaking news that ESPN hasn't talked about, especially something like some of the stuff that they share. Oh, Josh Allen contemplating retirement if the Bills don't, make it to the Super Bowl this year. Really? No, you're just getting people share that and you're driving the anti-McDermott conversation because whatever, it's a hot topic. But you think Allen contemplated retirement and publicly made that statement, and some Joe Blow on Facebook is the one breaking it, not ESPN, not Fox Sports. None of the big networks are breaking that, but Jim Smith from Williamsville knows it. Come on. I hate that crap. One that makes for a really funny round of play here is posting negative things about your job, employer, and or boss. And I slashed all of those into one thing because it's kind of all in one grouping, right? There are people who go out and they talk crap about their job. Oh, my job sucks. The hours are stupid, blah, blah, blah. or you bash the company that you work for because maybe the job itself doesn't suck, but who you work for kind of does, or like directly their boss. People will come out and say like, oh, my boss is this, my boss is that, or like my boss said X, Y, and Z. And like, then they get in trouble for it and get fired for it. Hilarious. Love to see it. Stupid to do. I can honestly say this is probably one of the ones that I haven't made the mistake of doing. I used to like talk about my job. If you know me and you know what I did for 10 years, like I would comment about that or in that realm, but never in a way that like I wasn't talking about the department. I wasn't talking about a coworker. I wasn't talking about a supervisor or a ranking officer of any kind. Like I would just comment on the aspects of the job that would suck, and it would be in context to a conversation about the job itself. But like there are people who will flat out go out there and be like, I work for Smith & Co. and Jim Smith, my boss, is a dumbass. I can't believe I got fired for saying Jim Smith's a dumbass on Facebook. It's my Facebook. It's public it's public property that can get shared and shown. Careful out there, boys and girls. You don't want to say something stupid and get yourself canned by bashing your employer, your boss, or your job. This one's a little hot button topic. These are two things that I personally utterly refuse to talk about, with the exception of a couple minor things. And this is like people who push their religious or political ideologies on other people. Listen, you can believe whatever you want. I don't care. I am not that guy that's going to cut you out of my life because I don't agree with you. I believe that dissenting conversation drives knowledge, and communication is key in moving forward in the world. I also believe that most religions are utter crap. I also believe that most political party affiliation is utter crap. I don't think any of them give a rat's ass about any of us. Left wing, right wing, same bird, and they just crap on us all day. That's all it is. Love a good euphemism. But people who sit there and just hammer people, like if your entire online presence, and there are people that I know very much like this that I'm like friends with and have muted on social media because like you need some kind of like filter on that stuff, because there are people who would just beat you over the head with it for like just incessantly. Any comment made about anything, you could be talking about sports and somehow like, oh, thanks, Obama. Like, what? And I use that one because it's dated and also kind of funny in context when people say it in 2025. I digress. But yeah, like pushing that stuff on people, like, and this was one of my favorite ones with the flat earth thing, is there's a very distinct side of the flat earth world that pushes the flat earth thing from a religious standpoint, basically saying that like the Bible says the earth is flat. So if you don't believe the earth is flat, you're not a good insert world, whatever religion believes that distinctly here. And ipso facto, you're a non-believer. You're going to hell. When the rapture comes, you're effed. Like, I don't know, man, like let people believe what they want. Like my whole thing is if you believe in a higher power, and that higher power says, and this is a little bit of how I was raised, that higher power says like, listen, you don't have to believe, you don't have to live like a life in my light, if you want to phrase it that way. But as long as on your deathbed you repent your sins and accept Jesus Christ as your Savior, you will get into heaven. Give or take a couple cardinal sins here or there. Like that's really what one of them boils down to. So like, why are you going to hammer me over the head with how I'm living if you don't agree with it? Just live and let live. Like, I'm not going to, like, I don't care. Go over there. You live your life. I'm not going to tell you what to do or what not to do. Just leave me alone. So people who do that, it's 2025. Knock it off. Let people live their own lives. Posting compromising photos and or videos. One of my favorite ones of this are people who like will call in sick to work and then check in somewhere. When I ran a baseball team, I had one of my shortstops later in the span of when my team existed, would look at us like the day of a game and be like, oh, hey, I can't make it. I got to work late. And then like an hour before the game started, his girlfriend would check them in at a movie or at a bar somewhere. And we'd be like, screenshot, send. Hey man, how's work? Oh, you are, yeah. Like, just people who post things like that all the time. Like, my favorite are some of the ones, and I've never done this, I've never seen it, but you see like ranker posts about this stuff. People who like will post a photo or a video and like basically blow themselves in, like cheating or something. Hilarious. So dumb. Like, just have one brain cell. One. This one I have to laugh at because it kind of goes along with some of the like political and or religious stuff that I mentioned. But sharing the if you don't share or repost things, or the who are my 8. I know that I have 8 friends on here who support this thing and they will copy and paste this into their thing. Or my favorite, I do not give Facebook consent to use my intellectual property for blah, 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 blah. By copying and pasting this into your status, you are telling Facebook that you do not give them consent and blah, blah, blah. And a lawyer told me. Blah. That's not how that works. That's just not. Those are right up along there with the, that prince who wants to give you $5 million to be his sugar mama or whatever. Like, yeah. Those aren't real. And neither are those copy, paste, and or share/repost if things. You're not going to get 7 years of bad luck. You're not going to, like if you see one and you don't comment amen and then copy and paste it into your own, like you're not going to go to hell. That's not how it works. I promise. I don't know that for fact, but I'm assuming. I don't know. It's weird that people still do it in 2025. Posting pictures of your food. Listen, I am all for posting pictures of things for whatever reason. Like, listen, if I made a gourmet-looking dish that looked fantastic, I would probably take a picture of it. But there are legitimately people out there who post a picture of every meal they ever eat. Like, go to McDonald's. There's my snack wrap. Went to Mighty. For those of you not in West New York, I went to Taco Bell. There's my plate of nachos. Went out to dinner. There's my plate of sketty. There's some mashed potatoes. Oh, it's Thanksgiving. You know what everyone's eating? Turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes. You know what I posted? A picture of turkey, stuffing, and mashed potatoes. You know what doesn't need to be posted? A picture of turkey, stuffing, and mashed potatoes on friggin' Thanksgiving. You make gourmet food. Post it. You work for a meal prep service. Post it. You do meal prep. Tear it up. I don't know. Maybe you're trying to sell your services to people. I get it. But, like, I don't need a picture of the slice of pizza you ate last night, Nancy. Knock it off. This one kind of ties in to one of the things that this one kind of ties into a little bit of the first one. This is the last honorable mention. It kind of ties in to the first one I'll talk about on Mount Rushmore. I'm just going to keep doing this to just emphasize it kind of ties in. The big thing here, and this is kind of what gave me the idea for this one, is people who get mad about the course of a discussion when someone disagrees with them in a public forum. And this happens on Twitter. And I give a lot of credit to the people who keep civil in discussions on social media. I love, in a very weird way, I love arguing online. Like, I love getting into it with people and like having an intellectual debate or spirited conversation about dissenting opinions on social media. To the point that one of my favorite ones, and I can't believe I'm going to say this on this, but I have an argumentative nature to me. I have a competitive nature to me. Sometimes I just need conflict. And if I don't get that out, it comes out in people that I'm close to, and it annoys the shit out of them, so I try not to do it. So if I need to, I will find something and get into it on Facebook. Facebook's usually my go-to. Twitter's my number 2. I have been using the Twitter that I had up here, at Joz Says, a little bit more. That'll probably be more based in sports and like the Bills, if nothing else. But I digress. Like, so that, like, there was a point I was sitting in my house and I was just trying to pick a fight, and they were like, and like the people in my house, like specifically my wife was like, nope, no, go fight with somebody else. I'm not doing this with you, because I enjoy arguing. One of my best friends, former co-host on one of my podcasts, his name is Austin. We had epic disagreements about football things, to the point that like the building director of our dorm walked into our suite and was like, do I need to call campus security? We're like, no, we're going to lunch. And she's like, I thought you guys were going to kill each other. We're like, no, we're just talking football. Let's go to lunch. She was like, yeah, get out of the dorms. People are pissed. Like, okay, see ya. Like, it's just, I enjoy it. I enjoy the verbal sparring. So like when somebody posts something on social media and you don't like that someone's disagreeing with you, so you get shitty. You start calling them names. You start getting disrespectful for no reason. Like that's wild to me. Like if you don't want people to disagree with you, don't share your opinion. Don't put things out for the public to consume. Like call a friend that you know agrees with you and talk to them about it. And then you can have your little echo chamber and everyone can be happy. But guess what? The world is not an echo chamber. Your opinion is not the world's opinion. Like, and you may agree with the majority on certain things, but you may be in the minority on some other stuff. And like, no matter what it is, I'm probably like keeping this on topic with the Bills. I'm probably in like, if it's the majority, it's a silent majority, but I'm probably in the silent, like I'm in the minority of people who don't want Sean McDermott fired from the Bills. We're never going to win a Super Bowl with him. He's wasting Josh Allen's career. The dude's the second winningest coach since 2017. Only one guy wins the Super Bowl every year. And of those years, most of the time, it's been Andy Reid that's done it. So, and by the way, Andy Reid's the only coach who's won more than McDermott since McDermott's entered the league as a head coach. If we were in the NFC or he was in the NFC, we would have been to at least one Super Bowl by now. Just saying. Just throwing it out there. You take the Chiefs out of the AFC, and we're probably not having this conversation. I'm probably one of the few people that are in that group of people. Maybe it's more close to 50-50 than the world would have you believe. But I'm willing to defend it. And, like, somebody on Twitter the other day posted something about, like, how McDermott's on the hot seat, and if it's Super Bowl or bust, and if we don't make the Super Bowl, he should be fired. Some people go as far as saying if we don't win the Super Bowl this year, he should be fired. And I adamantly disagree with this. And when somebody, like, when I was just having a discussion about it, like, I had a guy chime in and like, why did you comment on this? Because it's a public tweet in a, like, Bills forum. A lot of people commented on it. What I'm not allowed to because I don't agree with the guy who posted and me and him are going back and forth, and it's like, oh, like, we're being respectful. Like, there's some snideness to it, but there's no, like, F you, you're a douche. Like, there's no name calling or anything. Like, I told him he cherry picked stats to back his argument, and then cherry picked stats to prove that he's doing that. But like this other dude, like, well, why are you commenting on this? If you don't agree, just move on. No, that's not how social media works, my boy. And we're going to tie that into this first step onto Mount Jozmore. Why, in 2025, do people ask questions they don't want the answer to? Like, if you're the type of person who, like, can get the answer to a question that you are not looking for, and you lose your mind or you lose your cool, or like you like social decorum goes out the window, don't ask questions on social media. I very specifically, this was going into the world of a guy said, why is it that pro athletes get paid 100 times more than teachers? And I commented on it and said, because the pro athletes are the 0.00001 percentile of a multi-billion-dollar industry. The NFL's worth like $190 billion collectively. The Dallas Cowboys, for example, are worth $10.1 billion. Dak Prescott, their quarterback, who's not even one of the best in the league, is the highest paid player in the league, making $60 million a year. Those numbers correlate. If the NFL was only worth $1 million and the Cowboys were only worth $100,000, Dak wouldn't be making $60,000 a year. that's because that math doesn't work. The Cowboys would be out of business in 2 seasons and they would have nobody else on payroll. The teaching industry does not make that much money. The education industry does not make that much money. If you don't believe me, look at all the colleges that are closing, all these small universities that are shutting down because they're not making money and they're going broke. And that's not, like, and he was talking about like public schools. And depending on where you live, like public schools aren't well funded. You're not going to make a crap ton of money by being a teacher in some school districts. There are some that you can make a decent, you can make a solid living and make a good, a good chunk of change. But like, there are plenty of them out there that you're not making that kind of money. And it's because the industry doesn't pull multi-millions to multi-billion dollars. And when I brought this up very cold statistically like that, I was told, with all due respect, F me. Because if I believe that athletes are worth more to the world than teachers, then I have a skewed view and I'm what's wrong with the world. And I was like, that's not what I said. What I said was that the reason that they're paid more is because their industry makes more. And I brought up controversial hot take here that him saying that because teachers bring more value to the world, they should get paid more than a professional athlete, despite the fact that the money doesn't exist in their industry, is basically like the WNBA saying we deserve to get paid what the NBA gets paid because we do the same thing, despite the fact that our league is not profitable. And they're subsidized by the NBA, who is profitable. So much so that they can subsidize a different league. It doesn't make sense. Like you can't bring your feelings into that and expect like your feelings and like your level of morality to equate to monetary value. That's not how the world works. And this guy is hot about it. Like to a point, like he's an educator. And the last thing I said to him, because the last thing he said to me was basically the F me thing. The last thing I said to him was essentially, I hope that's not how you teach kids to conversate, because that's problematic. This one ties into another one that was down yonder. This is kind of a blendy subject, apparently. But this one is people who share way too much personal info. And it's usually like in a rant. So like, I'm not saying like sharing your birthday, your social security, your phone number. Like, listen, if you want to find that stuff about people, it's out there. It's not that hard. But I'm talking about people who like rant about their life, like the drama in their life, and put out, like, air their dirty laundry for the world to see. That's wild to me, because one, it makes me want to know what's going, like, I want the rest of the story, and you're never going to give it to me. You're like, I'm never going to get the whole story. There are a few people that I am friends with on Facebook that like will vent their personal bullshit and then like post updates to the story. And I'm all for it, because thank you. Like, if you're going to put your crap out there, finish the story. Like, let me know what's going on. I want to know that, like, the reason that you're going through a breakup with your significant other is because you found other men's greasy handprints on your headboard and stuff. Like, yeah, I want to know. Like, don't just post that she's a long list of explicitives that I'm not going to say on the show. I want to know why. I want to know what happened. And then, like, I'm probably going to go to her profile and see her side of the story to see if she's posting things too. That's probably problematic behavior on my end, but like, I don't watch much TV, and I'd rather hear the stories of people I know. But yeah, so like, one, if you're going to do this, like, tell the whole story. And two, don't do this. Like, it's 2025. You do not need to share your personal bullshit and air your dirty laundry for the world to see. You just don't. As much as there are people out there who want to hear it, you don't need to share it. It's okay. I promise. This one's more of a pet peeve for me. People who tag pro athletes and celebrities like they're your friends. Like, somebody, you go out and you're in the airport and you see Brad Pitt walk by, just quick glimpse, and you just take a picture of the airport that he's not even in the picture. And you're like, oh my God, can't believe I just saw at Brad Pitt at the Buffalo International Airport. Why? Why are you doing that? You don't have to tag the man. His social media team doesn't give a shit. He doesn't use his personal Instagram for the most part, I would assume. Like, I assume if there's something that he wants to post, he sends it to a team to post it. The people who do use it, like, they probably get so many messages and so many comments and so many likes and everything. They don't see your BS. Like, why? And then people take this a step further where, and I've done this, I'm sorry, guilty as charged. I told you I will stand on business when I do things. But, like, when they comment and or like and or reply, which I've had this twice. So I believe Mike O'Malley liked, and he at least liked, he may have replied to one of my tweets about something, about a show he was in. And then there was John Fina, who was a Bills player from the Super Bowl era, that I posted something where a buddy of mine brought over his N64 and we were playing as like the Bills and the Patriots. And I saw that John Fina was on the roster, took a picture and posted it. Did not tag him, but he saw it and he liked it. So you can do it without tagging him. You can do it without being a creeper. I just don't understand it. Like you don't know them. Like if you know them, cool, but you probably don't. Even if you met them at an autograph signing, like they don't need you to tag them for them to share things to get PR. They have a PR team. Like they have people who take those pictures and post them for them. They're famous. They don't need you and your 19 followers to be like, oh my God, yay, Brad Pitt. It's just weird to me. I don't know why. It's just slightly strange behavior in my opinion. But not as strange as the last one. I, for the life of me, will never understand this. If you get something from someone, you have a friend who owns a company. Let's say I own Joz's Super Awesome Company. And Joz's Super Awesome Company makes drink tumblers. And I give you one. Say, hey, check out my super awesome drink tumbler from Joz's Super Awesome Company. And you tag me because you like it, you use it. I love that. You know why? Because I need the PR. Because I need the hype. I need people to be like, oh, Joz's Super Awesome Company. Like, let me check out those tumblers. That looks pretty cool. I like that. But if you go and buy a Stanley or a Yeti with your own hard-earned money and then post about it and tag them, hey, shout out to Yeti for the super awesome drink tumbler. Hey, shout out to Stanley for keeping my drink cold. No shit, Sherlock. That's why you bought it. They didn't give it to you. You paid them for it. And now you're giving them props. You're advertising for them for free. That feels problematic. You know why it feels problematic? Because there are people who get paid to do that for them. They don't need your help. Why, in God's name, in 2025, are we tagging major national to international companies in an effort to get clout? I don't get it. Someone explain it to me. Somebody comment, whether you see this on YouTube, whether you see it on TikTok, whether you see it on Instagram. Someone, please explain to me why you need to tag Nike when you are wearing a pair of Nikes to walk around a fair. Went to the Erie County Fair today. Shout out to Nike for keeping my feet right. Did they give those to you? Did Nike reach out and say, hey, we got these new fair walking shoes. You should wear them to the fair and let us know how they are? No, you bought a pair of Nike trainers from Dick's Sporting Goods. And then you put them on your feet after you paid your own way too much of your own hard-earned money for those sneakers to then walk around the fair. But when you were walking around the fair, you tagged the fair, you tagged Dick's Sporting Goods, you tagged Nike, and then you tagged whoever made the socks you were wearing, all of which don't need to know that you were at the fair. The Erie County Fairs know you were there. You bought admission, you paid for parking. Dick's knows you were there. You spent the money. Nike knows you were there, or Nike knows that you bought your shoes because they already have your money, and so does the sock company. Unless it's one of those cool sock companies that donates money when you buy socks, then tag them so other people buy their socks and they donate more money. Damn it. Stop tagging national brands like you work for them. Like they work for you. You bought the shit. They don't need you to hype them. You already spent the money. Ugh. Sorry, I got a little heated there, guys. That's going to wrap it up for this episode of Mount Jozmore. Thanks for tuning in and sticking with me here. Again, like, follow, share, subscribe. Follow me on my other social medias to see more about me and my life and what's going on. Probably going to be a little bit more active on TikTok. If you saw any of my reply comments to the last TikTok videos from the Flat Earth stuff that I posted, I have a different recording setup that is set up to reply to TikTok comments with a microphone, so it sounds more professional than me holding my phone and kind of sounding like this. So, could be fun. More comments and stuff, the more I get to use that fun stuff. And like, follow, share, subscribe. Let me know what you like. If you have an idea for a Mount Jozmore episode, I'd love to hear it. These things are not the easiest things to come up with all the time. And as always, guys, I know I say this at the end of every episode. Be nice to each other out there. Be kind to each other out there. I know I get a little animated, a little heated here, and it's all in good fun. But at the end of the day, you don't know what other people are dealing with. You don't know what demons they're fighting and what wars they fight every day when they wake up just to get out of bed. And if you are one of those people who's fighting something, anything, everything, just know that there are people out there who would rather listen to your problems than read your obituary. You're okay to hurt. It's okay to feel. It's not okay to quit. I know it might be raining, but it can't rain forever. The sun will shine eventually. Just keep going. Just keep moving forward. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll catch you next time on Mount Jozmore.